What's going on, guys? Gronx here. Welcome finally to week 1 of the ElysianUCL. ElysianUCL. Last week we had the friendlies that I couldn't do. I had to miss them because of some personal stuff going on. But we are here for week 1 and we are taking on the powerful Ilex Forest Future Sites. Now, they have a crazy ass draft, so I'm going to go at them from their OU picks to their PU picks and then their megas. So let's get into their draft. They have Scammery, Steel Flying, scary as balls, I know, pretty scary, really good defense, and Scammery's going to be an issue. We have Celebi that he drafted. Celebi is just an all-around monster. I'm really scared of this. Yeah, put Earth Power there, that's the big thing I'm scared of with this thing, and hopefully we have some luck with it. We have Arcanine, by far one of my favorite Pokemon. Arcanine is such a beast. He can really do some work. He can be defensive, he can be offensive, and honestly, joining on these guys' team, I have no idea which one he'll bring. We have Nidoqueen, fucking chesticles up in this bitch, and Nidoqueen is so powerful. Nidoqueen is really scary to my team, really threatening. It's able to knock out a lot of things, but hopefully if we play it right, we can take this thing out. Next we have Rhyperior from RU, or in this case, I think it's tier 3. Rhyperior is pretty good. Solid Rock allows it to take a lot of 4-hit, or what's it called, 4 times effective moves, and it's able to eat up like grass knots and water pulses like it's nobody's business. So Rhyperior is going to be a bitch to deal with if he brings it. Next we have Gastrodon Cindy, and this thing is literally, I know, you saw the Mega but but this thing is the scariest thing on his team. Gastrodon is such a fucking problem to every team that I face a team. If a team has Gastrodon, they can win. They can win if they really play well. And I'm really scared about Gastrodon. Hopefully we play it right. I have a lot of Pokemon to deal with Gastrodon, but I still don't think it'll be enough. But we'll see what happens. That was their first 6 picks, or whatever they picked. Next we have Miltank. Now Miltank is really scary. Miltank is so scary. If you let this thing set up curses, it can sweep your team very easily. It also has Thick Fat and Sap Sipper, 2 abilities that I have to be very careful about, because Gastrodon being there, I have to be very aware that Miltank is right there if he brings it. If he doesn't bring it, great. If he does bring it, we have an issue. Next you have Kecleon, another Pokemon that he might bring, but he might not. It really depends on what he's looking to do. This thing can get Shadow Sneak, Sucker Punch, and Fake Out. I think it gets Fake Out, but I know about the other 2. And it can be a real issue if you know, it just does a lot of things, and it's very annoying with Protean. So we'll see how it goes. Next we have Regigigas. Now Regigigas is a mon that is really scary for brings, because slow start, while being a pretty bad ability, after it gets that slow start, you know, it wears off and stuff, this thing will destroy you. It's bulky as hell, decently fast, hits like a fucking truck. This thing will be an issue if we like get the slow start, wear it off. And the worst part is, it can get Thunder Wave and Confuse Ray, and I think it gets Headbutt to flinch you. So Regigigas will be an issue, but I think we can deal with it. Next we have Furfrou, his final pick from PU, I believe, or tier 5 in this case. Furfrou is decently fast. With Fur Coat, it's able to take half damage from defense. So basically his defense stat is 120. That's how I look at it. His defense stat is basically 120, which makes him really good, actually. I think Furfrou is a really underrated mon, and if he brings it, we will be able to deal with it. I don't think he'll be able to do too much, but if it was against another team, we might have issues, you know, if we had a different team. And finally, his Mega Metagross. Oh my god, where do I start with this thing? Fast as hell, bulky as hell, hits like a truck, has priority, has setup. This thing is a threat to any team except ours. I say that, maybe. It's an iffy. We'll see how it goes. So, I planned the team for exactly this moment, this battle, and it was pretty hard. Honestly, it was pretty hard coming up with a decisive team. You know, I could put all my trust in and stuff. It was pretty difficult, but I think I was able to do it. These are our 6 here. We have Aggron the Terminator, or sorry, Terminator the Aggron, Leonidas the Pyroar, William the Superior, Ariel the Melodic, Dreidel the Claydol, and Joe the Snorlax. So, Let's start with Aggron. Aggron was a mon that I 100% needed to bring. I know it doesn't have the best matchup because Nidoqueen and Arcanine and Gastrodon stuff, but honestly, Aggron is the only mon that can deal safely with Mega Metagross. Hammer Arm with because it's going to be at level 100. Hammer Arm will do about, I think, 40%. And then after Hammer Arms enough times, he's going to be slow to the point where Rest will be able to work. Now, that's because Hammer Arm is so strong because of Tough Claws. But if he runs Earthquake, which he might, because Earthquake will allow him to hit, you know, the Pyroar as well, the Heliolisk, and we could have brought the Muck, even though he'd probably just go for his Zenhead. But if he didn't want to go for the hard read, maybe just go for a safe Earthquake. If he brings Earthquake, that's actually good because Claydol will be able to deal with it a little bit better. But honestly, if he doesn't bring, I think he will bring Hammer Arm because we have a Snorlax as well. But he might not because we also have a Dragonite. We'll see. But Aggron was a mon we definitely had to bring. I'm running Earthquake, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Fire Punch. So Earthquake, basically for the Nidoqueen, the Metagross, the Arcanine, the Rhyperior. Earthquake was a move that just was able to hit a lot of mons. I thought Earthquake was pretty good, pretty safe. And next was Fire Punch. Fire Punch is to hit the Celebi and the Skarmory that Earthquake can't hit. So that's basically the set. Nothing too crazy. It's basically the good thing about this set. If I'm asleep and I go for Sleep Talk, there's a 2 out of 3 chance that I'm going to hit the Metagross for some decent damage. Yes, Fire Punch won't do as much as Earthquake, but they're both still going to do a decent amount of damage, so I'm pretty happy about that. You see our spread. We actually have an Impish Nature, 248 special defense, 248 HP, 12 in defense, and a positive nature. I needed to run this just to give I needed to be Impish to deal with the Metagross safely, but I wanted to have special defense investment because with this set, listen to this, Modest Life Orb Earth Power from a Nidoqueen only does 40%. What the fuck? Earthquake does like about 50%, and if we get rocks up, that'd be really good. But I'll talk about the rocks in a second because, as you know, Aggron doesn't have them. But that's why Aggron is super important. Another thing to keep in mind, the reason we're running Rest and Sleep Talk is because Sylveon could not be brought this week. I could not bring Sylveon simply because Skarmory, Metagross, Nidoqueen, Arcanine, those are the 4, and I think he might bring all 4 of those. If he doesn't bring, he's going to. There's no reason he wouldn't. They wall my team. They completely fuck up my team if he brings all 4 of them. So I think he will. But if he doesn't, yay. If he doesn't, we have to deal with it. And we have prepared pretty nicely for it. So next is Leonidas. Now, you might be surprised, but Leonidas is actually our win condition if we kill his Gastrodon and his Arcanine isn't Flash Fire. And if we get rocks up and the Arcanine is low enough and we're able to do some things, Flamethrower OHKOs almost everything. Again, the Nidoqueen is a problem, but Flamethrower has a good chance to do, 80% to Metagross, Skarmory, and Celebi, depending on his spread. Again, Celebi might be defensive, might be offensive. If it's offensive, that's kind of good, because we will definitely outspeed it, because we're Choice Scarfed, even if he's Choice Scarfed, and Flamethrower a decent amount, and because he's not defensive, he will be taking a lot more damage from it. But Skarmory, his sturdy might be annoying, so we have to work around that. But Pyroar is 100% our win condition, and I think Pyroar is a huge asset in this match. It also has Empower Grass for the Gastrodon that we really can't touch. Hyper Voice will do a decent amount to Gastrodon, but it's just so fat, man. Gastrodon is so freaking fat. Another thing to keep in mind, the reason I'm running Overheat is simply because Metagross is bulky as shit. It's based like 110 special defense, which is craziness. What the fuck? So if we need that extra power, it comes down to Pyroar, Metagross. I'm clicking Overheat if I can't kill with Flamethrower. Pretty sure I'm going to be clicking Flamethrower most of all because Overheat has the chance to miss, and we are not looking to miss. But if we have to click Overheat, we're going to click Overheat. Next is William, another really important mon to bring this week. We have Focus Sash, Contrary, Leaf Storm, Hidden Power, Fire, Glare, and Taunt. So the idea behind this is Focus Sash. Yes, it's Focus Sash because that would allow us to do a lot more things. Superior, you can notice, I had to bring Superior because it dealt really well with the Gastrodon. It's able to deal with the Rhyperior. It's able to do decent damage to Skarmory and Metagross Hidden Power Fire after setup. But the reason the Superior is Focus Sash is because Brings in Arcanine, I can go for Glare, Taunt, whatever I want, and I can take a hit as long as he doesn't burn me with Flare Blitz or whatever. And something to keep in mind, I think he's going to run Special Arcanine, and if he does, yay, because that's perfect. But it really depends. He might run Physical Nidoqueen as well. You know, there's a lot of things he can do with his team. You know, Physical or Special Celebi as well. So his team is very, very variable. You don't have to bring the same sets over and over again. With my team, it's kind of straightforward. They're going to do what they do. But I feel like my team does what they do really, really well. So Superior is really good. The reason Superior is here, though, the big reason is to wall Skarmory. Now, I know what you're thinking. Connor, what the fuck? It doesn't wall Skarmory at all. Brave Bird does literally about 91% max. Yes, it does do a lot of damage, but being able to taunt it, stopping the spikes from getting up, the Stealth Rocks, because if he sets up the spikes and Dreidels down, we're going to have a huge issue, and I don't think we can come back if that happens. But if we play it right, hopefully that won't happen. William is here. William Regal! And hopefully he does the job for us. And also, a good thing to mention is that if we set up, say if we kill the Rhyperior, we kill the Gastrodon, we Leaf Storms, we're at +4. We outspeed everything on his team, except for a Choice Scarf, Nidoqueen, or, you know, Choice Scarf, anything. But Superior will always outspeed the Metagross. That's why I would 100% had to bring it. I had to bring Superior just to get, because he has to go for Bullet Punch against me. And if we're Focus Sash, if he's not going to kill, we might live even without the Focus Sash. But if we're Focus Sash, we know we will live the Bullet Punch, and we can Empower Fire or whatever. So I think Superior is a good choice to bring this week, and I think it'll do pretty good. And again, it's really, really good against Gastrodon, and I had to bring it. Next is Ariel. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ariel, so far, your team is really, really weak to Gastrodon, and I know. But Milotic, surprisingly enough, does a decent job at walling Gastrodon. What I mean by that is, yes, I can't go for Scald, and while, you know, Gastrodon's there, I have to be really, really careful. Also, something to keep in mind, the Miltank again is Sap Sipper. I'm really, really... Like, I don't think he'll bring the Miltank because of Aggron, but if he does, I'm in a bit of trouble. But Scald, Dragon Tail, Recover, Hidden Bar Grass. Dragon Tail is there for, again, the Regigigas with Slow Start. If the Miltank wants to set up on me, if... what other mon? If Celebi wants to go for Nasty Plot on me, and, you know, I predict it to set up, I'll just go for Dragon Tail. Hopefully I'll land it. But you might notice, ability is competitive. That's because Arcanine has Intimidate, if he brings it, which he might not, but it's fine. And the big one, the only way my opponent can get rid of rocks is by Defog with Skarmory. So, say he has Skarmory and I have, you know, what? Claydol? Yeah, let's say Claydol. No, let's say Aggron. He won't, you know, attack Aggron. Aggron can't really do a lot to it. I'll go right out into Milotic. And if he goes for Brave Bird, we'll eat it up, no problem. If he goes for Defog, +2 special attack, and at that stage we can just start hitting things for loads of damage. Scald will do a crazy amount of Rhyperior. I'm pretty sure one shots. Himbar Grass will one shot the Gastrodon. Scald will, you know, damage the Miltank. I mean, hopefully we can get a burn, but again, while the Gastrodon's there with Storm Drain, we have to be really, really careful. We can burn the Metagross. The only problem with this set is that we can't touch Celebi, and that's actually a really big issue. Literally, I had Scald Ice Beam recover Hidden Bar Grass, but I had to get rid of Ice Beam because if something starts setting up on me, I would have no way, because I couldn't run Roar on Aggron, you know, safely. So I had to run Dragon Tail. So we have to kill the Celebi before setting up with the competitive, but hopefully it does us some good. And I'm really, really putting a lot into Milotic. I think Milotic is a really important mon on this team, and hopefully it comes out alright. Okay, so next is Dreidel. Dreidel the Claydol. Shout out to Shady Penguin. Shady Penguin gave me the name. I really like the name Dreidel. But Claydol's job is simply to wall the Nidoqueen. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds really, really weird. Why would you... Because, you know, you have Ariel, you have, you know, stuff. Like, you don't really need to worry so much about the Nidoqueen. But I do. If it's Choice Scarf, he's not going to outspeed Leonidas, but he'll outspeed Superior, he'll outspeed Milotic, he'll outspeed Aggron. He will do some crazy work, and you'll notice this here. My HP is 240 in HP, 252 calm into special defense with a minus attack nature, so rapid spin is going to do a little bit less, which I literally don't care about. And 16 in speed. That 16 in speed is for the Nidoqueen. If Nidoqueen runs 0 investment into speed, which it might not, we'll see. But if it runs 0 investment, and it's not Choice Scarf, it's Life Orb Modest, whatever. We are so good. This is how it plays out in my mind. If he's Choice Scarf, that means that he has max speed, max special attack, which means he's weaker in terms of defensiveness. He can't take much more hits. Defensiveness isn't even a word. But he can't take hits as well as he could before. But if he's slow and he has max HP, max special attack with 0 into speed, that means Claydol will come in and outspeed it. So that's my mindset there. No matter what, I think Claydol's a pretty good thing. Like if he's max speed, it doesn't matter, he outspeeds Claydol. And if he's not, Claydol will be able to outspeed it and will be able to get off hits first. Yes, Ice Beam is really, really scary from Nidoqueen. He's going to run Ice Beam, I feel like. Well, he might not, because, like, looking at it, everything else on my team other than Superior and Claydol, they all resist it because of Snorlax's thick fat. But I don't know. I think Claydol had to be brought this week. It also does pretty well against the Arcanine if it's defensive. It also does a decent job as well against the Metagross if we're able to get a burn with Melodic. But the only thing is that Celebi has Heal Bell, so I have to also be very, very aware from that when I go for Glare with William, because he could just go into, you know, Celebi and Heal Bell, and that would be fucking awful. But I have to be very, very careful about how I play this week. Also, the Hidden Bear Fire is there for the Skarmory, the Celebi, basically those two, and because I can't hit him with Earth Power, and if I need to get some damage off and let Draven go down, I want to be able to hit them for good damage. Finally, we have Joe Snorlax making his debut. Actually, they're all making their debut, but we're running Seed Bomb, Earthquake, Fire Punch, and Super Power. Now, I know what you're thinking. What is this Eevee spread? Why does it exist? Well, my young Padawan. 176 into HP, 248 Adamant Nature into Attack, and 84 into Speed. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell would you run Speed investment into a Snorlax? Well, Gastrodon's base speed is 39, and Rhyperior's is 40, and so is Kecleon's is 40. I think you see where I'm going with this. With this spread, I will outspeed Rhyperior, Gastrodon, and Kecleon unless he goes for Sucker Punch or something, which is really good. I don't think a lot of people know how good that is, because if the Gastrodon wants to scald me and burn me, I'm going to outspeed it, and Seed Bomb's going to do a crazy-ass amount. I'm pretty sure it's a one-shot, depending on a spread. So that's really good. Earthquake is there for the Metagross, the Arcanine, the Nidoqueen. Fire Punch is there for the Celebi and the Skarmory. And Super Power is there for everything else. The Furfrou, the Miltank, the Kecleon, not Rhyperior. Well, it can be used against Rhyperior, I suppose, but it's also good against Regigigas. Snorlax is our, what's it called? I guess our final defense, our last line of defense. Basically, if everything else goes down, it's up to Snorlax to bulk hits and just kill everything else, because he literally has coverage to kill everything on my opponent's team. And I know what you're thinking, Curse might have been better, but honestly, there's no Mon that I can safely curse up on, because Celebi, yes, but he can go for Leech Seed, he can Toxic me, he can do all this stuff. I could run Immunity, but then I wouldn't be able to resist like Ice Beams and Flare Blitzes from Arcanine. Arcanine is the big monster that walls this Snorlax because it learns close combat. That's why if you run special Arcanine, that's amazing, because you want to have extreme speed or close combat. So yeah, that's Snorlax's job. Snorlax is really, really good. Joe is in the house. He's ready to take lives. And hopefully we do a good job this week. So to recap, we have Terminator, Aggron the Terminator. Shit, I keep doing that! Terminator the Aggron, Leonidas the Pyroar, William the Superior, Ariel the Melodic, Dreidel the Claydol, and Joe the Snorlax. What do you think about our draft? If you guys are excited for tomorrow's battle or today's battle later today, I don't know. Don't worry guys, this video is going up after I've had the battle, so don't worry about my opponent sniping me and stuff. Don't worry, that's not going to happen. That being said guys, we'll get the hell out of here. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to something like down below first. I really appreciate it. Make sure to have a nice day.